Our next guest, Kimberly from the Yoga Hive, is here to show us 3 yoga poses that you can do at work or I guess even at home to quickly ease tension. I definitely need this, had a stressful morning, just warning you, so this is gonna come in handy. But Kimberly is a former corporate consultant and spent lots of time sitting at desks. She practiced yoga on the weekends until she had an epiphany during a 10-day silent meditation retreat in Mexico. Her studio, the Yoga Hive, is located in the Strip District and Garfield. Welcome, Kimberly.
Hi, Lindsay. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. So I had a stressful morning.
I know. Sounds crazy. I think we all had stressful mornings.
Yeah, so it's been a little crazy. So I'm hoping that you'll help me get at ease here.
Amazing. Well, let's first talk about what feels tense, what is stressed.
Well, me, it's I guess, just my mind and my body. So
mind and body. Well, our typical tension points where a lot of us hold tension are up in our shoulders.
Yes.
Right? Up in our neck and upper back.
And I feel like I'm definitely keeping it probably here and then maybe even in my hips.
Yeah, down in the hips, that is a big one because we spend so much time sitting and the body just becomes stagnant.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite poses that I would do just if I needed a quick breather, open up my shoulders, I would wrap an arm underneath, and it doesn't matter whether you start left or right, and just start to bow my chin to my chest, opening up the back of the neck. And then slowly looking back up, you can even turn your head briefly side to side, and maybe even tip ear to shoulder. And we're just opening up right here, the outer arms.
Yeah, it's a very nice stretch.
Where do you feel it?
I can feel it definitely in like my shoulders and my neck.
Yeah. So a modification, Lindsay, if people are really tight and can't get their arms wrapped around, you can just grab your shoulders and press your elbows forward.
And the great thing about, we're sitting down doing this. It doesn't take a lot of time.
No. You can probably do this while you're talking on a conference call, too.
You could put a smoothie down here and start, sip the smoothie. That's what I was doing.
Smoothie hug.
Yeah, like a smoothie hug. I'd be, sipping the smoothie, stretching out, giving myself a semi-hug.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even if that doesn't work, you can go one arm at a time. No big deal.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. And then you'll just do that on the other side.
Okay, so and just do it one time?
10 breaths, one time.
Perfect.
Maybe twice a day.
Okay.
Maybe you only get to it once a day.
Okay. It's simple. So simple. All right, so what else? If we maybe, so this was for our shoulder, correct? So if we have the tension
back,
there.
upper back, and shoulder.
Okay.
And I was thinking, you mentioned kind of the chest area, right? I was thinking one of my favorite ones, I would kind of scooch all the way to the end of my office chair and plant my feet directly under my knees.
Okay.
And then I'd reach back. You can grab the handles of your chair, or maybe you can grab the back of your chair and just kind of gently lean forward as you lift your chin. And again, you can kind of rock side to side. Now, if your neighbor is looking at you, you don't have to rock your head side to side. You can just kind of hang out right here.
What if you're in a cubicle, you're like, people
and your
are
neighbor's
looking at
like,
me.
what's she doing over there? You can just say you're doing yoga.
Just doing yoga, guys. No
big
deal.
This is really just very easy. Maybe you could also interlace hands behind your back and just open up briefly across the shoulders and the chest.
And I guess all these different moves, depending on what you're wearing, because this is fine for me, but if you're wearing...
Pretty cozy.
Yeah, pretty cozy.
If you're in a 3-piece suit...
Take the jacket off.
Maybe take the jacket off.
All right, so what about, so that was our, what?
That was our pecs and chest, and also that's the greatest reminder. What happens, we always get this
you should
computer desk
you
posture,
should see me,
right?
because I work from home, so I'm usually just I sit with my feet crossed and I'm
sloucher,
right? At my computer just typing away.
And that's how we end up with our chin up and our butt out, and we have a weak core. So this chest opener, no matter where we go, hands behind the back or on the desk, it is the greatest reminder to pull those muscles in, pull the ribs in, and start to sit tall in your chair.
And it feels good.
Feels good.
Yeah. All right, so now let's kind of move down. What if your hips or maybe your legs?
Moving down the body. Yeah, we can do a couple of things. If you're suitably dressed, you can take an ankle and cross it over your thigh. Give it a shot.
A little tight.
On those office pants.
A little tight on the office pants, but we're going to give it a try.
Yeah. So just this, and if you are someone that has maybe an office door to close or no one is looking, you can start to lean forward and you'll get that deep stretch in your outer hip.
Yep.
Right?
I feel that.
Feels pretty good. And again, you can stay 5-10 breaths, nice and slow, breathing in and breathing out.
And I think that's probably a huge thing as well, is just breathing.
Absolutely.
If that's the one thing that you do, that's probably...
Absolutely. That is literally, and you're right about that. You don't even have to do a yoga pose. You can just breathe.
Yeah.
And that, just deepening the breath, deepening the connection all the way down and all the way up, and you're just breathing and expanding your body. You are giving your body a lot of good yoga.
And energy.
And energy.
So when you feel like you want to run for the Snickers bar in the middle of the day, it's like, just take a second and breathe.
That's right.
So many of us don't actually stop and breathe on a daily basis.
It's so true. It's so true. We are just not present, that we can really be conscious in our breath. And that helps us to slow down the mind, slow down everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so then we can switch, right?
Yeah, we can switch. We can do the other side, and you'll notice for a lot of us, we have one side that's often tighter than the other.
For me, it's the right.
Yeah.
I can feel it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. So yeah, you can just hang out here. Again, you can lean forward, keeping the lower back long, and come right back
So
up.
how long have you been doing yoga?
Well, that's a great question. I started practicing yoga in 1998.
Wow.
Yes.
Before
the
legging craze.
Yeah, before the legging craze. I don't even think I had a pair of yoga pants until, oh man, not that long ago. Like, you just wore whatever you had in your closet. Some like stretchy little pants and maybe sweatpants. I started practicing in college. That was my first yoga class, and it changed my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you been or how long ago did you start the Yoga Hive?
The Yoga Hive opened in 2010 in the Garfield studio location. So we're coming up on almost 7 years this October, which is an amazing time span.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so much has grown. You have a second location now.
We have a second location. The entire yoga industry in Pittsburgh has grown. It is massive.
Crazy. It's huge.
There is yoga everywhere.
Yeah, there's really no excuse not to do yoga.
Absolutely.
Especially when you can literally do yoga in your desk.
For free.
For free.
All by yourself.
Yeah.
No excuses.
No excuse. My favorite though is the cat cow. Can you do that? Can you do that in the chair? Just
so we can either do hands on knees, or again, you can hold your chair, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you'll just start to move the chest up, tip your tail up, and then you can round, making space so the shoulder blades move away from each other. Hollow the belly and then lift the chest.
This one's just such a great stretch.
I
feel like, especially when you're just in the office, I do this one all the time when I'm sitting at the desk, just because I feel like, I don't know, it makes me feel good.
It's one that's so easy to breathe with, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you breathe in up here or breathe in down here. Either way, the breath works. The breath works. It's a great chest opener, and it really helps to just lubricate your hip joints, the pelvis.
And I think it's just something about the motion of it. It just makes you kind of ease in.
Like you're on the beach.
Yeah, you just feel
relaxing.
Relaxed. Yeah, exactly. So after the stressful day, you could just do some cat-cow. You'll feel like you're at the beach.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, after work happy hour, you can still rock that cat-cow.
Yeah. Can you imagine just bar stools full of people just doing the cat-cow?
That's going to be the next big YouTube hit, I'm telling you. You better get started on that one.
I love it. Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And for more yogi inspiration, definitely visit the Instagram Yoga Hive PGH. Check it out, all good stuff. And coming up next, we are going to now switch gears and make ice cream sandwiches for dogs. Yes, and we have an actual dog on the set, so you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned.